welcome to my channel. I'm Mark, this is Mark's Mods, and today guys, we are going to be doing our Enterprise D build. So we are going to be doing Pack 7 and Stage 23 today. Now, normally, I would say, here is the magazine for the pack. No magazine, so I received my next pack of issues from FanHome, and there was no magazine in the box. Now, it doesn't mean I can stop building, or I have to wait. Luckily, FanHome do provide online instructions. I prefer a magazine, I've got to admit, but they do provide online instructions which I can still work from. I've contacted FanHome, very apologetic. They are sending out a new magazine in the post for me, but the problem with that is it can take at least a couple of weeks for it to come. So I could be at least 2 stages into the build before I get the magazine, but at least I get the magazine, and that's the main thing. Luckily, with no magazine, there's not a lot to do today because I'm going to have to read this from a PDF. But we are working on some more panel, and I do have the Battle Bridge section to show you as well from stage 22, because I had to do a little bit of work on it because there was a gap. Now I'll show you that at the beginning of the video so you can see all that working. Well, not all working, but you can see where I managed to eliminate the gap. Just a little bit, it takes a bit of time just making sure everything is correct, and it worked out brilliantly. So anyway, let's get over to the build table because I really want to get started today. So with all that said, let's get modeling.
Program complete. Enter when ready.
Okay, so like I said, like I promised, here is our battle section neck. Now, the problem I had with this was, and it's a problem that a few people have had, was I had a massive gap down here. Now, I couldn't deal with that. I was not happy with that gap at all. So after a few rerouting of wires and checking everything was clear and nothing was in the way, and then re-screwing it back down, I managed to completely and utterly get rid of that gap. It is still there slightly, but yeah, you're probably not going to see that on the saucer section. But I'm happy with the way that's come out. I can switch this on, and we can see we've got the lights at the side there, navigation lights. Then if I turn this round, all this is working on the back, looking fantastic. So I just thought I'd give a quick update on that one. So I'm going to turn that off and then just put that to one side. Now, the first thing we need to do is, if you remember in the last stage, which was stage 22, we actually took the batteries out of our battery box and test board that were being given, so that we could fit them into the battle bridge section and light all that and the circuit board in there. Now, the first thing we actually do is we need to put some more batteries back in here. So let's do that. We've been given another cover. Now I'm just going to bend that tab slightly just so it makes a good contact, and then we're basically just going to put another cover back on here. Okay, so they provided the cover in this stage. Okay, and then we just need to get the screw that they provide, which is here. I'm gonna push that. Oh, I'm gonna try and drop it in, and then we can do this screw up. Strange that they didn't supply us with a whole new thing. I don't know, but it is what it is. Okay, so that's done. Okay, so I'm just going to bring my Mini Packwork Upgrades cushion across, because here we've got this panel that we're putting on next. Now, I have put some tape on here. Now, I learned from the Battle Bridge section a neat little trick for these panels, because when we put these in, there's no reflector panel here that is going to hold these in. Thus, it makes it very sometimes tedious trying to get this in and knock all these out. So what I've done is I've just put some low tack masking tape on there, And I'm literally going to put the escape pod covers in. Now I'm going to do this while on camera because we haven't got many to do. But what it just does, it holds them in place while I get this onto the saucer section if there is no reflective panel there. Then once this is in place and these have got no chance of coming out, I can then take the masking tape off and hopefully it'll make my life a little bit easier. Okay, so that's all the escape pods in. I'm just checking the right way around, which they are. Now we have got some windows here to put in. Luckily they're all black, so we can't go wrong. But this tape just keeps them in place, just tacks them there while we get them in. I think this is a fantastic idea. It really is. Sometimes you just discover these things and yeah, you just go with it. Okay, so they're in place. Now I'm just scrolling down because I'm going to do this by PDF. We do need to put this into place on our saucer section. So I'm just going to move some stuff out of the way because I'm going to bring over the bigger part where I put upgrades cushion, which is here. And we'll bring our saucer section across, which is here. Now we are going to be working on this side here. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to put this in place just onto there. Let's flip this over. Now you see how easy that was putting that into place and not having to worry about the windows coming out. Okay, now the next thing it wants is these two free cables that we've got here. We need to put them into the holes that are just down onto there. So we're going to bob these LEDs in. And that's just popped out. It should go back in pretty easily. So and for some strange reason these are not sitting like they should. And it might be a bit different once we get the screws in. No, they're just yeah, they're just basically holding there, and then we need this next one that's just secured onto there. Okay, so they're in. So what I'm going to do next is to hold that section to the other panel, we need to screw that in with 1, 2, 3, 4 EM screws. So I'm going to do that now, and then hopefully them LEDs will stay in there and not come out. So 4 EMs. Okay, I'm just going to keep an eye on my monitor because earlier the camera decided to freeze on me. Okay, so one into there. Excellent. Now if I do one at the far end, excuse me, I'm frogging my throat today. I'm just going to make sure that that LED is sitting correctly. In fact, you need to make sure all the LEDs are sitting correctly, even on the ones on the bottom panel. That is come in. Right, before I start this, I want to make sure that wire is, it actually needs to come out a different place. So let me just undo that. Pull that out, because this one actually needs to come out underneath there and out of there. There we go. Okay, bob this back in now. Okay, that's connected nicely. So we'll get this screw back in. Okay, that's nicely in place. Just a bit cautious. I'm just a bit cautious about this one. It seems a little bit twisted of a wire to me. I think it could. There we go. Yeah. You really, really gotta double check these things to make sure that they are lining up. I mean, this is going to look like a, what I call a massive bird's nest when it's done. So what I'm doing, I'm just getting these in, and then I'm going to go around with my PH1 and just tighten up any that need to be tightened. We are going into metal, so we know we can go down quite far. Okay, so that's now in. I'm just going to get my PH1 and just make sure they're in. On this side it's slightly raised. What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to take these off. There we go. So all they're in place, as you can see. I'm just a bit precautious that it needs to sort of flatten down a bit. Okay, so let's just tighten on these screws and then we'll double check everything's how it should be. I can't see any problems. It's amazing how many turns you can get with this. Few more turns you can get with the PH1. Okay, so now those all four of them are in, we need to put in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 BM screws. Right, either I'm missing some or I am not counting that correctly. So, right, let's work from this from one side to the other. Oh. I might find this panel will screw down beautifully and it won't be feeling raised once I've got these in. Not overly convinced yet, but that's one in there. We need one into here. Okay. Need one just down into here. One just here. Okay. We need one just here. Now it says 5 BM screws. So yeah, we're not putting one up here yet. Okay, so that's in place. Now I'm just going to turn this over. And actually with that down now, that does feel perfect. So we are going to test the lights now that are going into this section here. So it's going to be this one here. You're not seeing this. This has got a B on it. Okay, so let's do the test part. Okay, so that one, it'll be this one. So that one, yeah, so that one's going into there. That one's going into there. This one. Not that one. No, not that one either. So I believe that is everything that is on there. Turn this over. And all that lights up. Just as it's supposed to. I'm happy with the way the panels are lined up. Sorry, because the thing's on the screen. So I'm really happy with that. That looks really, really nice. Another bit done, even though it's just that bit, but yeah, another bit done. So really, really happy with that. All the panels are lining up nicely, which is great. Definitely think I might need to do a little bit of wire tidy, to be honest with you, but yeah, I'm happy with that. So yeah, that's all there is to do in this stage. By the looks of it, yeah, because the next one is stage 24. So fantastic. Yeah, that wasn't too bad. I do like the trick with the tape on there. That really does make life a little bit easier. You're not having to worry about any of these popping out while you're trying to put that panel in. Like you saw, we put it in, and you got to put lights in. Any of these could jump out the way or knock out the way. So just a little bit of a simpler way of doing things. But that is stage 23 complete. Well guys, that's it for stage 23 of the Enterprise D-Build. Thank you for tuning in. Yeah, I figured that bit with the masking tape out by chance, actually. It was just something I thought was going to be a lot easier. And it turns out, well, I think I might use that going forward with some of the other windows as well, just giving them that little bit of tackiness at the other side. Might just help me along the way on this one so I don't knock them or whatever when I'm trying to put them in. So yeah, duly noted on that one. But yeah, that was a lot easier. Yeah, that panel did line up in the end. I had no problems with it. It just needed securing down properly. But as you can see, it is double checking these wires, making sure that none are trapped. That could cause a problem as well. And also double checking the instructions to make sure they are routed in the correct way as well. Really does help. But I'm enjoying the build still, and I'm enjoying doing things offline on it as well, which is like sorting out the Cobra neck and everything. Just a pleasure to work on at the moment, and I'm looking forward to doing more. Hopefully I'll get my magazine before the next stage in a week's time, but goodness knows on that one, and we know what it's like with our post at the moment. Yeah, could be any time. Anyway guys, if you like this video, please do give it a massive thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please remember to subscribe and hit the notification bell, and you'll be notified of any future videos. But as for always, stay safe and bye for now.